Yeah, been to hell and I never wanna go back. I've been told that hope could be just what my goal lack. I ain't got no time for these cold cats. A new roadmap, keep the old facts. They got no class while I hold tack. My heart grown black, so I close that. And with a smoke clap, that's an old snap. They get broke stack, but where the hope at? And where my growth at? Been a slow stack. Rap so deep, get a soul tap. I ain't catch no sleep, that's a throwback. I say no at, yo, let me hold that. On the queen nine, they got no raps. And when I hold back, I get sold that. Same old Kodak with no flash. I mean no light, I mean no light. The pain cuts so deep and with no knife. Ain't got no type, keep it roll tight. Been a slow fight, but I know right from wrong. When I see it, yeah, I'm so nice. Wanna see me folk, but I won't, oh spite. Giving all that lifting with no bite. I said lift that grip, get your soul right.
Trying to unlearn and relearn things. I'm done getting trapped up in the same game. Moving up no matter what they may say. Trying to lead the way, trying to see grace. Trying to unlearn and relearn things. Done getting wrapped up in the same game. Moving up no matter what they may say. Trying to lead the way, trying to be great.
Yeah, crippling self-doubt got me feeling a feeling of left out, but still moving through life with my chest out. Chin up to the sky, let a breath out. Gotta show kids just how I get down. I got people complaining with no clout. I got heathens relating like, oh wow. Try to be loved but don't know how. Gripping the mic till they bow down. Too many cats at the bounds now. I got sound chicken 6, gotta bounce now. Living my dreams, say it out loud. From the north all the way to the down south. So sick and tired of these loud mouths. They talk all that trash till they found out. It's like tryna start with a clean slate, tryna show that I'll be great. Well, I know how to act when I meet fate. Will life give me some more for this bleak taste? Get up out of my face, I said please thanks. I get grumpy till I hit my cheat day. I get grumpy a lot these days, so give me some space, so for Pete's sake. Yeah, tryna find grace while I seek fate. Tryna heal wounds through the dreamscape. All of this hate that I must fake. No, it's all coming from a weak place. They want that chase, but I don't need bait. The art I create, it's a keepsake. And when I ascend, it's on a break, and then I escape. Yeah.
Trying to unlearn and relearn things. I'm done getting trapped up in the same game. Moving up no matter what they may say. Trying to lead the way, trying to see great. Trying to unlearn and relearn things. Done getting wrapped up in the same game. Moving up no matter what they may say. Trying to lead the way, trying to be great.
All right, pal. I have to tell you, look, you're already like pouring a beer when it's showtime.
I'm already a beer deep here. What's going on with you?
That's not professional, Kinsman. But I got to tell you something. So, well, it's professional for us.
Am I supposed to do that behind the scenes?
We don't have any policies or standards, so we're okay.
No policies.
No, but
HR
listen,
to deal with. I only have to deal with you.
Yeah, well, I'm HR. Hey, listen. So yesterday we're outside at the sliding hill, trying to drum up money for donations for the Cap Bay Dip.
The Cap Rotary Bay Dip. Yeah,
I didn't wear shoes. Like I still think I'm gonna get gangrene on my foot or something.
Well, I said in the video I was gonna take my shoes off, and then I ended up keeping them on.
Right.
But they're like summer shoes, so my feet I couldn't even feel from my ankles to my toes while we were thawing out afterwards. That's how cold it was.
Yes, Ken.
But as people said, it wasn't as cold as the coldest day, like just a few days prior to us doing that. But still, minus 27 with wind chill is still pretty nippy.
Right, pal.
There's Adam. I'm waiting for that Adam to post Kinsman and Klomp rules for one.
He only thinks you rule, but that's but there's nothing wrong with that, pals. Checking in. Everyone is never enough time to do it all. Yeah, I hear you. Checking in, saying hi to everyone.
Yeah.
Are you buying those Crocs? I'm going to get the Croc boots for sure. And Selena sent me these clogs. They look good too. I like anything that looks like that. Right?
Clogs.
Yeah, clogs, pal. All right. So I'm really looking forward today. We have Sean Brasfield on, and this guy's doing it all, Kinsman. He's doing it. He's writing books. He's acting. He's
an actor. He's staying busy in COVID times. They're flowing the production, Adam, and it's good to see, a nice, talented, an artist, author, and an actor. Still be able to do what they do, especially in COVID times. Down there compared to us up here.
I'm going to bring him on right now, but listen, he's a Chiefs fan, and they eliminated my Bills, so I got to address this situation first. I'm going to bring Sean on first. How you doing, Sean?
Hey, how goes?
You're a Kansas City fan, because you're in St. Louis, but the team left. Your Chiefs had to do it to me this year, right? It knocked me out of commission for a week when you guys eliminated my Bills.
Man, it's funny because my thing is I did not know. If you would have asked me in week 4 if the Chiefs would have been in the AFC game or anywhere near the playoffs, I would have laughed at you. But we turned it around miraculously throughout the stretch. And I did not think that they were going to be able to pull it off against the Bills. But, hey, Patrick Mahomes, that offense got it done.
Sean keeps himself in good shape. I take it he's not like me last night with a bag of Doritos binge watching Netflix.
Probably not. No.
Are you in the gym constantly?
I've gotten out of my routine, but I'm working my way toward getting back on. So I looked at myself. I'm like, you know what? I got to get back ready for these roles that's coming. And I have to get myself reasonably fit. That's what I got to do.
I'd love to be your fit right now. My goal is to be what Sean is right now. He wants to get in better shape, Kinsman.
Better shape, yeah. Zero body fat.
I got to turn myself into that sergeant that we did the skit with. I got to.
That's funny because at the end of the show, I'm actually going to play this video. Sean and I did a comedy video a couple years ago. I'm going to play it at the end of the show. But welcome to Kins and Klomp Live.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're involved in so many things. Were you focus on the acting role for a second? When you were younger, were you involved in theater? Did this passion ignite early for you?
Actually, no. When I was younger, my goal and aspiration was to be a WWE superstar.
Oh, right.
That was I wanted to be the next like Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, and that was my goal. Until I actually started training to be a wrestler, and I was on the indie circuit for about 4.5-5 years, and I was like, I just wasn't big on like the locker room politics and everything, and I was like, if it's like this on the indie circuit, it's times 1,000 on like the big stage WWE. So like, it started to wane, and so that's when the passion of acting kind of started to really turn up. So from there.
It's not an easy grind, and you found some good success. And just looking at one of the comments, Joanne saying has seen one of your movies.
Oh, nice.
On Netflix. Would that be The Ghost Who Walks?
Yes, there was the Ghost Who Walks. Yes.
Yeah, Cloudy Eye.
Yes.
Do you like? I know you're very. I'm going to go all over the place here, and probably won't let Kinsman get in a word. I should, but I know you're very involved with the youth in your church, right? Now, do you think about when you take roles, your Cloudy Eye, they're like, oh, okay, Mr. Brasfield, like, this isn't what you're preaching me, taking down these guys like that, or is it just that they know it's fiction? Right?
Yeah, I think because I worked with the youth for years, and now not so much more so segueing into other roles in the church, but yeah, people who know me, they know it's a role, but still, even in that, I still have to be mindful of the roles that I take, because I still have to maintain a modicum of integrity. even though yes, it is an acting role, but certain things that I won't do. Like you won't catch me like doing, naked, nude, making out, sexual kind of scenes and things like that, nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that makes perfect sense. Kinsman and I will take any roles right now. If we get a call, we'll be anyone. Kinsman, pretty much.
Well, that's it. And I get you were saying staying fit, and as they throw the roles at you, do you get to pick some of the roles that you get? Do you have a certain role that you're I don't know, is it typecasted for or best suited for? Like the sergeant role?
I've told myself that I kind of wanted to pull away from like the villain, gangster role. Cause I'm like, let's just be honest, when you're black and you have like the street look, they want to catch you like, oh, you look like you could be a gangster, street thug. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it this time. But I'm trying to steer more clear roles like that because I want to show my versatility. I want to be able to show what I can do. But ideally, like my passion role, I really would like to get on Law and Order, the newer branch of Law and Order, the organized crime.
Yeah,
that would be ideal to be like a semi-regular on that show.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. And a lot of actors say that that's an awesome rite of passage to show up on a Law and Order, and SVU, I hear it's right up there. When you talking about the grind, obviously, you were just sitting at home and an opportunity came for a movie on Netflix. Obviously, there's years of work behind this craft and grinding and not making much money and doing small productions, right? So walk us through sort of like what it took you up to where you are right now.
Well, like you just said, it's one of those things where, like, let's say, for example, you see someone like Kevin Hart. You all of a sudden, seemingly overnight, you see him in these big hour stand-ups and hour plus stand-ups, and you think like, hey, this guy's like popcorn. He just popped up overnight, and now he's like this big name. But people didn't see the years of grinding in like the small Chitlin circuit comedy clubs that he was grinding his teeth and then cutting his teeth rather into getting to that role. But getting to that, you have to take a lot of small roles here and there, the things that don't make, like you said, don't make much money. A lot of things you're just like, hey, it's experience for you. Here's some experience under your belt. You can take this and take that. And you see those small things. And each small role is like, if you ever recall Will Smith talking about the wall that him and his dad made him and his brother build. And he was like, place one brick at a time as perfectly as you can, and the wall will eventually come. And that's what the acting thing is. One brick at a time, place one brick at a time. And these bricks are placed and put in place in the dark. And then you get something like Netflix pop up and other big things start rolling and people start taking notice. Oh, you're doing big things. No, I've been doing big things. It's just big to you because you're seeing it on such a platform like Netflix.
That's right. It's definitely not an easy road, but if you're passionate about it, you mentioned a pretty interesting comment. You're saying like you don't want to be typecasted as the gangster, and I always think back to Tupac Shakur. So Tupac starred in this John Singleton movie, Poetic Justice, and he was wonderful. He worked for the United States Post Office. It was a love story, Janet Jackson. I thought he was amazing. And then the movies after that, he was a gangster thug. And Tupac has said, they've typecasted me. I can't get anything. And Tupac, it was a global icon, one of the most recognized names in the world in the 90s. You would think he would have any pick a movie that he wanted. And yet Tupac's known for gangster rap, but he was very versatile in the Shakespeare community.
Yes.
Does that stigma still exist in the entertainment industry? Because you mentioned like they want to cast me as a thug or to have that look. Are those roles more offered to you than something more dramatic or with more substance?
I think for me, I'll cover that like twofold. There's the general just Hollywood black actors and actresses, and then there's like up and coming ones who are like myself, up and coming, like doing like the Netflix and the Hulu type of films, things like that. There's a thing where like a lot of times you get the typecast roles and you constantly get those roles offered to you. Like you don't really get the roles of like, hey, this is a a father of two and he's an engineer, like the Pursuit of Happiness type of roles. Those roles don't come often to people who are like kind of up and coming, and they barely come to people like Don Cheadle and Denzel and Will, you know.
Right.
So my thing is, I think early in Denzel's career, he mentioned he had a conversation with now the late Sidney Poitier, and he told him, like, choose your roles wisely, because the more type of roles that you accept are going to be the type of roles that people peg you as in their mind. So he stopped doing certain type of roles, and he wanted to start diversifying and showing his versatility, and that's what I want to do. I want to show that versatility. Like, now going forward, I will not take any more like street thug kind of roles. If I'm going to take a role like that, it's going to have some stipulations. If I'm going to take it like a bad guy role, I want to be the main bad guy. I want to be the star, the main bad guy. I don't want to be the right hand man anymore. I want to be the guy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but it does put people who are starting off their career in a difficult position, because to be offered a role in a movie, a television show, no matter what platform, when you're starting off, is not an easy thing to get, because there's millions of people out there chasing the same dream. So you may have to accept certain typecasted roles at the beginning of your career if you want to have a career. It's a difficult position for a lot of folks.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you have to be the kind of person who, like, hey, you may have to take 10 or 12 saltine crackers before you get to, there you go. You're able to get to the good cuisine.
You got to take the punches before you can get to the big knockout punch. And again, as they say, little rolls here or there, it's going to get you to the top. We were just talking about this before hopping on the show tonight. You were just recently awarded the SAG status. That's got to be a major milestone in your back pocket. What does that mean to be a SAG, a member of the SAG Awards? And,
that's for me, that's huge, because as soon as I caught word that I'm now SAG qualified, now I'm in position to go ahead and get my SAG card. And once I get that SAG card, what it's going to do is going to open up bigger platforms for me, like prayerfully, the Law and Order, SVU, organized crime type of things. So once I acquire that, I know it's a win and lose thing, right? Because once I get that, it's all about you get the bigger stage, bigger platform opportunities, but you also lose the regular opportunities that come with like what do you call it? The Teamsters, the
union type jobs.
Yeah, that's what it is. You get you lose the non-union stuff that keeps coming out, but you gain the bigger platform union gigs and whatnot, which I would have to get into other areas like the Chicago market, the Atlanta market, the things of that nature. Because like right now, East and West Coast, they're huge, but they're East and West Coast. But you don't look at these burgeoning up and coming areas like the Atlanta, Chicago market, things of that nature.
And you have to have, like, you obviously, like, you have a beautiful family, so your family stands behind you, because especially as your career grows, it's going to take you out of the house for periods of time. But those, some of the sacrifices you have to make if you want to be in this career. I assume the whole family is very supportive of your career.
Oh, definitely. I'm grateful that my wife and my family's behind me the way they are, and it's a team effort. Because my thing is, like, for example, and I hate to bring KC up again, but like Patrick Mahomes can't be Patrick Mahomes without the offensive line, without Travis Kelce, without Tyreek Hill, and without all those, and without Andy Reid on the sidelines and Eric Bieniemy and people calling plays. Like, he can't be the Patrick Mahomes that everybody's seeing without everyone around him. Just like Denzel can't be Denzel without other big A-list and quality actors around him that are going to pull the best performance out of him.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's why I have you, Kinsman. You always pull the best performance out of me.
The best parts of Quamp every single show. And, it goes both ways there, Sean. We're pulling the good out of all of us. But, seeing your I guess, not just yourself, but all actors right now with, COVID times, it's nice to see that you've got some productions under your belt. You're currently the one. I'm gonna say it right. Is it Potentia? Is that your current gig you're working on?
Yes, that's a project that and it's not like it's a secret, because if you look on my IMDb, it's in pre-production.
Well, that's what it says. It says you're in pre-production with that one. So you're still in.
Yeah, so
in character, is that why you're all bulk for this one? Or?
Yeah, I had to kind of get myself back in the gym a little bit, and now it's on a spring back to getting myself in there regularly. But it's on to come up. It's going to be a great production.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to see. What do you say to folks like like we said, millions of people out there would love a career in the entertainment industry, a sustainable career. What do you say to the folks that are sitting at home? I've auditioned, I don't get a call back. I've done everything I possibly can, and nothing's happening. How did you stay motivated at that time? And what advice could you give for folks out there that are in the same stage?
It sounds cliche, but it rings very much true. Keep grinding the axe. Don't give up, because if you think about it, everybody has come down that road. And one of the things that is said is like, hey, get used to the rejection, because there was a saying that goes, success basically is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm, because every no and rejection that you get, understand you're getting that much closer to a yes and a green light. And all you need is one green light that will change the trajectory of what you're trying to do and where you're going.
Certainly is.
Pretty amazing. His talents don't stop there, kids. But Sean's an author too. When you sit down and write the book, this must be like, I've always thought of that, but it's like, how do you get your thoughts on the pen and paper and tell it in a story that people are going to be engaged with? Me, it's very easy to verbally communicate it, but in pen and paper, did you do, like, when you write, did you do some training, some research on how to write? Walk us through that process that you finally got the words on the book, or were you already like creative in that sense?
Well, for me, I was always like the creative kid growing up. And I wrote a book, not a book, I wrote a story. When you're in elementary school, you just write stories. You write one-page stories with a little paper with a solid line, a dotted line, and solid line. You write your books. So I wrote a story called Ryan the Boxer. And it was basically like another kid version of Rocky Balboa. So I had the creativity already there. And so I just needed to hone in and focus all that energy and create an actual book. Because one of my there's this guy that I studied under how to write a book, and it wasn't really like the how-to. Here's how you write a book. It was just more so getting the information and just focusing it. And basically, like, if you have a social media page, in 1 year you've pretty much written a book with all the posts that you post. Just don't know, And so that's the angle that he threw it as, like, you're already writing a book. It's just gathering all your thoughts. It's almost like writing a paper. Like if you're ever in college, you have to write a paper. You go, okay, here's your subject, do your research, here's your frame, your skeleton, and now you got your frame it out, and then fill it in. And that's really what my thing was, because I go into the schools and I speak. And the challenge was, okay, you want to go into the schools and be an empowerment speaker, you have to have a book as like weight to push you. And I was like, well, I don't got a book. What do I do? So I'm like, I don't have a book. He said, everybody has a book in them. Everybody. And I'm like, yeah, you just messing with me. He said, no, everybody has a book. So then I start thinking, like, okay, if I was my 13-year-old self, what did my 13-year-old self need to hear that would have changed my life? And that's where the angle of the book came in. Then I started thinking, like, okay, well, how can I make it engaging? Well, everybody these days wants to be famous.
Right.
Everybody wants to be well known. Everybody wants to be in the spotlight or on the stage, for the most part. That's why you have everybody who wants to give me the blue check on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, why don't you take what you know, Sean? You know the world of acting. You've been on plenty of sets. Take that process and walk them through how to be successful, taking timeless principles, take them through that process, and make it applicable through acting. And voila. So in the book, I take, and I'll just use 2 examples from the book.
Mhm.
The acting process, you always have a script. If you don't have a script, you don't have a sitcom or a movie. Take a script. Your script is your life. You're writing your script as you live your life by the decisions that you make. So you have a story, you're writing a script as you live your life, and you have a backstory. The thing about your main character, which is you can't change your backstory. That's the way and the circumstances at which you got here. You can't change that, but you can change your story as you live your life by the decisions that you make. So that's your story. And then you have, let's say, your cast. That's easy. You're only going to be successful by the people that you put yourself around. You can't put Denzel in a movie with a bunch of C and D level actors around him.
No.
Everything's going to be great because he's Denzel. He needs someone to feed off of.
Right.
So you're only going to be successful if you base yourself and put yourself around other people who are going higher, or who's going to challenge you and pull the best performance out of you.
No, that's right. So let's give a little bit of a props to the book, the title, and where folks can get it. I know it's on Amazon, right?
Yes, it is on Amazon right now. I'm going to be pushing to get it in Barnes and Noble soon this year. But it's on Amazon. It's called Lights, Camera, Success.
Nice.
Exactly. So it's going pretty cool. I'm trying to get like more principals and administrators of schools on board to try to get it into the hands of the students. So that's the goal. But it can be found on Amazon right now.
I would picture if I was to write a book, it'd like have to be in the movies when the author's like at some cottage and it's just the birds and he's on the typewriter. Because as soon as I start writing here, Kinsman send me a funny meme about COVID. Then I'm distracted for half an hour. I'm like, I need the typewriter. I need no internet. Like I just need to go old school if I'm going to do some writing. Because you have to be focused, right?
Right. Well, then you'll find yourself like I think it was James Caan in Misery. Some obsessed fan who like kidnaps you and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wanted to ask you something, and this one's obviously it's a little more serious tone. You posted something on social media about a year ago, and it resonated with me. And I'm going to paraphrase what you wrote. It wasn't exact terms, but it was something along the lines, we still live in a world where I'm driving down the street with my children and someone rolls down the window and says the N-word of it, says the N-word at us. And it really resonated with me because, Mark and I always say, like, we grew up white privilege. What I mean is that we grew up in a household where we've never had to talk to our kids about someone yelling an ignorant word to them because of the color of their skin, because of their ethnicity. And Will Smith said racism always existed. Now we can videotape it.
Yeah.
Is it growing up as a black man in America? Are these difficult? I assume important, but are they difficult discussions with the children and the youth? Because I know you're very involved in your church.
I think it's very much so difficult because it's almost like you have to take a certain approach with it. For example, my kids. My kids are still really young. I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to create in my head, okay, how do I introduce them to this reality? And when do I introduce them to this reality? Do I go ahead of the curve and cut them off at the pass before it happens to them? Or do I wait until an instance happens to them? I would rather cut it off at the curve and have the discussion with them and to prepare them, as opposed to the teens that I talk to. They're already, 14, 15, and they're already seeing it and are accustomed to it, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's sad that you have to tell your kid, let's say, for example, my hat is on backwards. If I'm out and about, I got to teach my kid, okay, well, put your hat on forward. Why? Because you don't want a police officer coming by and thinking that you're a suspect just because your hat is on backwards. Whereas Jamie can walk around with his hat on backwards and no one bats an eye, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's always difficult. And then you get the whole, I remember having a discussion at one of the high schools, and the guy was like, well, why are we being treated like this? By far one of the hardest questions to attempt to even try to answer, you know? And sadly, it's not going anywhere. We're never going to see a day where that mental disease is done away with, because that's what it is. It's a mental disease, because emotionally we're the same, physically we're the same. You're not dealing with some Men in Black type of person in me, and you're a different person like a Men in Black. We're all the same emotionally. You cut us, we bleed. You one of our loved ones die, we feel it, we hurt. So it's like it's you know, much melanin versus lack of melanin, and that's the only thing. So why has this thing been a thing to where we're blowing it up bigger than what it is? And then there's nothing better about you or about me that makes me superior or inferior to anyone else.
Do you find that because acting, any type of art, creative art is a form of is a positive outlet, a form of stress relief? When you talk to the youth at your church, do you talk about the positive enforcements? If you get upset, if you need some stress relief, the creative arts could be a form, and maybe it's playing an instrument, maybe it's acting, maybe it's writing. A lot of people, it's exercising. Do you preach that message to find a positive form to sort of give yourself the release?
Well, for me, I don't have the opportunity these days to speak ad nauseum to much of the youth at my church. As if I have a sidebar with them, like a one-on-one, I'll talk to them. But I more so have opportunity to speak to the youth in the schools or in the community, whatever have you. But I do feel that the creative arts of any outlet is a creative outlet for kids to express themselves and their gifting, because we're all gifted in whatever area. It's just we have to nurture that gift. And I do think that with the creative spaces, whether it's acting, whether it's art, whether it's music, that's a creative expression that the outlet of their pain or the outlet of their love flow through those talents and everything. And through that, they can find peace in whatever that art is. So I think schools need to not stifle the funds for the creative arts of any kind, but they're stifling and taking away those funds for the arts, and it's kind of handicapping and paralyzing the creativity of our youth.
Yeah, that's right. Well said, my friend.
Thank you.
I want to go back to the sorry, Kinsman. I know I'm dominating here, but I want to go back to when you said like getting yourself in shape for roles. So if there's a potential role coming up, you have to be. They want you to say you have to lose weight or you have to gain muscle mass. Is this just immediate change at your house? All right, there's going to be no pizzas in the house here for a couple months. Dad's loaded everyone up with veggies. Come on, Dad, it's broccoli tonight. Like, is there a like immediate change? I assume some of these things you have to transform.
Yeah, it's funny because I have not had that type of role yet, but I am going to say it's going to come. And when that role does come, I know I'll have to be prepared. I would love to get a role where I have to lose like 40, 50 pounds. There's a challenge there because. Right. And it's going to take the level of discipline to bring that to fruition. So I would love for a role like that. And when it does come, I know it will change and shift the house, but it will more so have to bear on me so that I can, I'll have to discipline myself basically. Like, you guys can eat the pizza, you guys can eat the ice cream. Yeah. I have to just be the one to be like,
Right.
Have this nice little rice cake over here.
That's right. Eh?
Well, you got to eat it, or else they're gonna putting the role in someone else's hands, right? So
right.
It's mentally you gotta stay mentally tough for some of these roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I would love that role. Like, let's say, for example, like when Michael B. Jordan got in shape for Killmonger in Black Panther.
Yeah.
He had to eat 6 times a day.
Right.
And he got so tiring, so he got to eat every 2 hours. Think about, like, part of your job is to eat every 2 hours.
Right.
And eat this pretty much similar meals. He said he got so tiring to the point where he had to grind. He put his food in a blender and drink it because he got tired of chewing. Imagine you had to have like mashed potatoes, chicken breasts, and some asparagus. And you're like, you know what? I'm tired of chewing. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the blender and I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna drink my 9th meal of the day. Just flip things up a little bit here,
But
everything's work though. Like no matter what you're doing, some people are saying that's like the best job ever to eat. But when you're on a schedule and you're getting paid to it, it's now work. It's no fun eating all the time, right? It's got to be tough doing those types of roles.
Oh, it's super tough, right? Especially when Will Smith did Ali.
Yeah.
And then you have to have strong people around you, and that goes back to your cast, not just your cast on screen, but your cast around you in your own personal circle. Like, you have to have the strong people around you who's going to hold you accountable and make sure, hey, this is your job. Mm-hmm. Not only is your job to eat every 2 hours and get fit and work with a personal trainer and work out like 2 and 3 times a day, but after that, you got to go back and pick up your script and start memorizing words and dialogue and character build in your head.
Right.
That's a whole nother thing that people don't realize when it comes to acting, that you're not just memorizing words from a script. You're mentally building and creating this character based on the story that they gave you, the backstory of who this character is, and you have to flesh this character out.
And how they act saying those words, and the feelings behind it, right? And Jamie, right? Anybody could read a script, but it's your job to lift the words and turn into that character and
bring it,
make it look like you're not reading from a script, right?
Especially if you have to like get emotional. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it tough? Is it tough when they have you had any crying scenes where you have to bring tears?
Yeah,
in an instant?
I did. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with. There's a cartoon called Static Shock.
Okay.
Growing up, and I did the fan films of Static Shock that can be found on YouTube. And on the second part of the film, like part 2, I was the father, and I had to embrace my son and have that emotional moment where I'm like, the director said, "All right, I got this in this scene. I need you to be emotional. I need you to invoke tears." Okay. Then you have to take your mind to a place where not only are you saturated in that moment, but you got to take your mind to, I'm a father. This is what's been happening, and then I have to get to that point in the scene, and that can be challenging sometimes.
Well, especially when we see it on screen without the direct. Like, you've got an entire cast, crew, everybody's still behind you while you're still acting, and then you've got to put this sentimental role in place. It's got to be tough, for the stuff that we don't see.
Right, and that's always tough. Always tough.
Yeah, it's a real adventure. Joanne made a comment. How would it be if you had to take a role where you had to gain weight? Like, they're looking for someone maybe 50 pounds overweight. That'd be a fun role. Because 9 pizzas a day,
ice cream, pie, pizza, cookies.
That's right.
But then when the role is over with and the film is wrapped, I can't just be like, all right. Now I got to sit back and lose. I got to go back and lose this weight now to get back to a modicum of health.
Well, you either lose it, or do you look for another role within that same body frame?
Right. You get typecasted in that role now.
You get typecast. Right. We're looking for somebody who can eat some pizzas for this next role. Are you good, Sean? Yes.
Right. Well, I can go ahead. I can go ahead and take that role real quick, but I have to get back to having some kind of modicum of health. So yeah.
Yeah. What a world. To tell us, because you're in St. Louis, we hate talking about COVID here, but I'm always interested. What's the landscape there? Are you guys underneath mandates? What's the what's the morale?
It's kind of funny because the last I checked, because I try not to tap too much into it because I'm like,
yeah, I know
it can just be we all know, but it's like last I think like numbers were kind of spiking, but then they're kind of tapering off a little bit,
kind of peaking a bit. Yeah.
Then you have the people who I think the mask mandate is it was off for a minute, but now it's like back on. Okay. And then you have those people who are for it, and then you have those people who are like, you can't tell me what to do. It's not that bad. I don't want to do it. And so it's like, it's just crazy. I'm like, I would rather have the mask right now just to be safe, until things get progressively better to where, okay, we're at a place where it's not morphing into other variants and we're okay.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
Everyone's tired of it.
I think everybody's tired of it. And you're on set, you're off set. Like how many do they do the self-testing before you're on set and after? Like how do they keep you all in your bubble?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they have to have all their precautions in place, so we have to adhere to them, before or during or whatever have you. So, and it's not the most comfortable thing having like, I gotta go and do this. And yeah, it can take its toll, but you have to kind of keep your mind focused on the bigger picture. Yeah. One, everyone's safety. We all want to make sure everyone is safe. Yeah. And then two, we have to make sure that, we can go ahead and get this thing finished or whatever have you, and, do what we have to do.
So one little movie question for you, just generally speaking. So the Oscar nominations came out today. I'm a big Marvel guy. I think Spider-Man should have been nominated for Best Picture. It was snubbed. Do you think? Well, I assume you've seen Spider-Man. Do you think it should have been nominated? And my choice this year for Best Picture is Don't Look Up. I love that movie.
It's crazy. I started to watch Don't Look Up, but I didn't finish it, which I need to. Yeah. I do think Spider-Man should have been up there.
Yeah.
I think that's come a long way, especially with like that kid's performance. Like, it's still the same kid, right? Tom
Holland, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think he's grown from the first time he donned the suit as an actor. Because it's kind of difficult. It's hard to watch a movie just for the sheer enjoyment when you are an actor, because you're like, ooh, I wonder how many takes, right. Or are you just like, I wonder how many times he had to do that, or like that could have been a little bit different. Like he could have delivered that a little differently, but hey, I see it, I understand. So it's always difficult when you're looking at it from like a whole.
You're doing a deep dive into the movie, right. Instead of having your popcorn like the rest of us and just laughing or crying, right, or being scared. Yeah,
it's definitely challenging when you're like when you are an actor and you're wondering like, I wonder how long did filming that scene take,
Yeah, that's right. Just chat with everyone in the theater. Hey, guys, don't get too excited. The lighting's a little bit off here. I would have adjusted the temperature by 3 degrees there.
Right. And it's crazy because like when we shot the Ghost Who Walks, there's one scene in there where the scene where like if you've seen it yet, where we're chasing the main guy and we're chasing throughout the city. That night, it was very cold here in St. Louis, and they were hoping for snow. We didn't get snow for whatever reason. It was very cold, and the call set, the call, for those who don't know, when you have a call set, that's the time that you're supposed to report to set.
Okay.
Got there 6 p.m. No biggie. The big thing with filming is hurry up and wait.
Right.
Because you get there, call time, get there at 6. I'm sitting around until like 7:30, 8 o'clock before I even start getting into hair and makeup. I don't need anything with hair because, like Jamie, I don't have any.
Right. So pretty easy styling.
Exactly. So we get hair and makeup and get the contact and everything in. And then so we're filming that scene and it's like 12 a.m. now. Not filming anything the whole rest of the time until around 11:30, 12 a.m. And when it's late like that, it's colder outside. So we're having like keep up energy and like chase the guy literally running in the cold. And it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock a.m. And we have to keep that same energy up as if it's 5 o'clock, 6:30, you know? So
Right.
that's the crazy part.
Wow.
Yeah. The hurry up and wait mentality. But
Right.
do you get nervous? Your last movie that was shot in St. Louis. What was the title of the movie?
This is life.
This is life. So do you get nervous when there's like a premiere and you're sort of looking around for like audience reaction, whether they're enjoying the movie or not? Or you just sort of, no, I'm here to celebrate. We completed the project. It's going to be awesome. Because some actors get like, they get nervous to go to a premiere.
Mm-hmm. For me, at this point, I don't get nervous at a premiere. I'm like antsy to where I'm like, I can't wait to see the finished product. Because when you're filming, not only one do you film out of order, you don't film like from beginning to end. Like you may film the end of the movie on the first day,
right?
Or you may film the middle of the film on the first day. So you film out of sequence, and then when it's all said and done, like when it's ready, you're like, at least for me, on the red carpet or whatever happened, the premiere, I'm ready to see the message as a whole, the project as a whole, and I'm ready to see and hear people's reactions. But more so, it's kind of funny, I'm looking, I'm like, that was a long day. But that was
there you go.
Well, that's it. The mentality's got to be a lot different. You remember, like, I shouldn't have eaten that meal before doing this line, or they should have used the other take, or other little nitpicking. Like,
yeah, you're like, oh, they used this one.
Yeah.
I did better with the other one, but they chose this one. Hey, it's all right. And so you start, as for me, I'm thinking like, man, it took forever to shoot that scene, or man, like that was no one would have known, like, but that was like 10 p.m. at night, and we had been there all day, so that kind of stuff. So it's hard for me to just enjoy the whole thing, but it's also hard for me to watch myself.
Well, that's it. Are you nitpicking yourself? Like it must be. Yeah. You're like you can't sit there and enjoy it like Jamie or I could watch the same movie with you in it, but you're sitting there going, "Geez, I did this line 100 times. The 95th take should have been in there."
Right, and it's for me. I'm like, ooh, I could have did that. I'm like, I could have changed my facial expression there. Just that small stuff. So it's hard for me to just enjoy it as a whole. At least the first time watching it. Then after that, I can actually watch it and enjoy it as a whole because I've seen it already and I've nitpicked my little stuff, and I'm like, okay, now I can sit back and enjoy it as a whole. Because now when I watch the Ghost Who Walks, because I went and got it on Apple TV, I went ahead and got it. So like, now I can watch it and like really enjoy the entire project for the beauty of what it was.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and everyone has Netflix. If you haven't seen it, pop it on tonight. It's pretty awesome.
Go watch it. Yes.
Also, if I can just throw it in there, I also did a film with Tony Todd, who played Candyman back in the 90s. And that movie is called All Gone Wrong. Another great, phenomenal movie. It is really, really dope.
I will check that out. Tony Todd played a version of Candyman in the new Candyman. Yeah. Tony Todd, how is man? And
that's got to be cool. Hanging out with him.
He's also deaf in Final Destination. That must have been pretty momentous. Like when you get to work with, that's awesome.
It was really dope. But like on set on that day, the 10-year-old in me when he walked on set was like,
it's Candyman.
right.
That's what you're thinking.
But he was really, really cool, and the lessons that I was able to learn from him, he taught sometimes vocally, and sometimes he didn't. He taught just without saying a word. And I'm like, I grab those gems, and I will always put that, utilize those things, and that will be out maybe sometime this year actually, as well as This Is Life.
Wow, that's like. He's doing it all. This is a great question. Do you sleep, or are your movie lines running through your head when you're sleeping?
Man, I now that I'm getting older, I try to play with different methods of memorization. When I was younger, because I did stage at first. Before I transitioned to film, I did stage, and I would just like record other people saying their lines and then record me saying my lines. So then
Okay.
whenever I'm away from everybody and it's just me, I would play their lines and I would stop before I say mine, and I would say mine out loud. But now I'm like, I have to have people around me, and thank God for my wife. She claims to need like 10% of whatever I make because she's helping, because she's helping. But yeah, that helps a lot. But I don't try to like do anything, the weird things people do, like they sleep with a script under their pillow, and I'm like, that doesn't work for me.
Like you can shut it off. Like today, you're on set today. When you get through the door, you put the script aside, and now you're dad, family man, and then you can go back to work tomorrow.
Right, and it's kind of cool because sometimes I can utilize like characters I've played against my kids, like.
You can pull lines from your own movie and use them.
Yeah. That's right. You better not get in trouble at school, because I know Cloudy Eye. Okay, he's not gonna be happy with a C-. Okay, like Cloudy Eye wants to be all A+ around here.
Right. Don't make me throw my contacts in.
Yeah, that's right. I got him in the top drawer.
Right.
This is good stuff. I always try and run my jokes by my kids, no laugh. So that's just part of the sport. But
that's gonna be hard though. Like how? Because like writing a book is like similar to like you like writing jokes and kind of getting this yourself in that space to do that, and it's very similar.
Yeah, it really is, and especially like when you do stand up, like every audience is completely different. So something that might have got a laugh the first time is not a guarantee to get a laugh the second time, right? Everyone has their own sense of humor, but you just have to you do it because you enjoy it. You do want to make a career about it, but you do it because you enjoy it, and you can't take the losses heavy. You can learn from them, and then you move on and take something different. But
and then here's the thing: people think that like many people get into acting for the wrong reason. They want the after effect. They want the bells and whistles over the grind and gutter work. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I would do acting if they paid me $20 an hour. Right. I would do it every single day. And that's when you have to love the craft. Mm-hmm. And when you love the craft, people will know when you love the craft versus when you just love the attention and things that the garnish that comes with it,
Is there anyone, we had a similar question up top, I believe, from Adam also, but is there a certain person that you've really enjoyed working with, or is there someone, or if not, like a role model for you?
For me, so far, I've enjoyed working with Tony Todd because he's like the biggest name that I've worked with so far. Mm-hmm. And I glean pick up so much gems from him about the craft. And he was just so down to earth and everything. But the persons, the actors who I gleaned from the most growing up, I have to say, without a doubt, it was like Will, mm-hmm. Denzel, and Tom Hanks. I love their body of work. And also Don Cheadle. And in the last like 10, 12 years, really enjoyed his body of work as well.
He really changed up his whole game plan. That Don Cheadle, he was good, but he's amazing. You're right. Last 10 to 12 years, it's been amazing.
Right, and it's like because I remember like him doing like a guest spot on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
Comedy, so to see his progression and his maturation is crazy.
He's doing it all. Well, we loved having you on, Sean. Keep kicking ass, except your Chiefs. The Chiefs, I wish you no luck with those Kansas City Chiefs. I've had enough of them. It was funny because I was jumping up and down and laughing and celebrating. 13 seconds ago, we lose, and I'm crying. And my partner, Terry's like, you never once cried over me in 4 years, and you're crying over the Bills. I'm like, it's sports. Come on, it's sports.
So, like, men never show their emotional side when it comes to the feeling part of a relationship, right? So a sporting team, totally different.
So 13 seconds, unfortunately, is going to plague the off season for you. So hopefully next season will be a better season.
Right. Yeah, that's the football talk. Well, you only got one more week of it, Joanne. But thanks a lot, Sean. It's a pleasure. I am at the end of our show. I'm going to play the comedy video that we did almost 2 years ago now. I can't believe it, but yeah, it was awesome. We'll check that out, and we'll definitely keep in touch, my friend. And I know a lot of people are going to be putting on your movies tonight.
Well, you see in the comments tonight, Netflix and Sean Brasfield. They're going to be going after your hidden gems that are sitting online for everybody to watch and enjoy.
Yeah, and they always say Sean's in great. So we're trying to get the Sean shape, and he's trying to get in the better shape. You know, it's like we're on a run, and we're trying to get the mile 1 where Sean is, but he's trying to get the mile 15. Hey, just stay at mile 1. It's going to take us a little while to get.
My metabolism will probably keep me around mile marker number 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Sean. A pleasure to meet you. You've known Jamie for years. Great to finally meet you. He talked about bringing you on the show, and so excited to
and hopefully, thank you. And hopefully this summer, I was talking to Angelo and Jose and the guys. I'm going to try to get out to Philly if you can get down. Sometime soon. That would be great.
The guys,
finally meet face to face.
There we go, my friend. We will definitely do that.
We'll put it on the list of things to do when COVID allows, and we'll be down there for sure.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Take care, man.
Have a good night, Sean.
Bye.
What a great great chat, great guy.
He's and the comment from Carol, multi-talented, generous, authentic man. So true. I have known Sean for a few years, and very authentic and grateful, and a great family man on top of all of the success that he's worked hard to get. So we love having him on. We love hearing these stories, Kinsman. I can't believe he has to get in better shape, though. Come on now.
Well, yeah, we need to get into bed. We're not in movie shape. We're in Kins and Klomp mode right now.
I think I've been doing pretty good. I don't know.
What's that? Yeah. Well, you saw me tumble down the hill when we were doing the Kapuskasing Rotary Bay Dip little preview. I actually pulled something going down that hill.
Of course you. All right, Kinsman, before we go, okay, so listen, a couple things. Let's thank the sponsors, and then I want to do a special cheers for you. I'm not going to say what it's for, but I'm going to do a special
We'll bring my little guy by before we go too as well.
Okay, so
I just want to say before we get into the sponsors, I just got a personal message on my my messenger there. They said what movie he was in. If you want to search him tonight, The Ghost Who Walks, Path of Egress, and Tapestry of Shadows are currently scrolling online for people to go and watch Sean in action.
There we go. Go see Cloudy Eye on The Ghost Who Walks. Yeah. All right, let's thank the sponsors, pal.
That's right. Let's go. Let's thank Business Enterprise Center. Actually, let's start with the Timmins Rock.
Yeah, I flipped it up on you.
All right, Timmins Rock. They should have been playing tonight, but things got postponed. This game is going to be put off to March 1st, and the next home game will be February the 21st. Tickets online at timminsrock.com. And how about these amazing ladies? Plant-based Marche. Don't know if you're in the market for vegan. This is everything vegan. They've got a brand new store here in Timmins. It's all about the lifestyle of being a vegan. Plant-based cheese, meat makers with a passion for clean, healthy, and delicious foods. And again, the creators of artisanal plant-based cheese, plant-based grocery and lifestyle store located 175 3rd Avenue, Timmins, 705-221-4641. And Roxy going to invite us for their grand opening. They've got the brand new store, and we're going to do a showcase next week. So look for us at Plant-Based Marche and Business Enterprise Center. We were just there. What an amazing place. Entrepreneurs can inquire today about their Starter Company Plus program. Expand, or purchase a business, receive training and mentorship, attend one-on-one consultation, build a business plan, and apply for microfinancing. And if you need more information on this, you can check out northeastbec.com or give them a call. Business Enterprise Center. They're at 133 Spruce South, 705-360-2657. Aleutian Transportation. You want to drive for one of the hottest bus companies in the north and all of Ontario? Get yourself on board and drive for Aleutian. They've got a new recruitment drive happening for the month of February. 705-360-4090. New drivers get $2,000 sign-on bonus, and current drivers, if they recruit a driver, not only does the new driver get $2,000, the current driver gets a $1,000 bonus as well. And DAP Cleaning Solutions. Need something cleaned? Call Ann Drouin, who is the professional. When you don't want to clean it, she's the queen of the north when it comes to commercial janitorial services for local businesses in and around Timmins and surrounding areas. Call today for a free estimate. Ann's number is 705-465-3500. You can even email her at ann.dapcleaningsolutions.com. And La Ronde, Centre Culturel La Ronde. Don't forget to vote for Bonhomme Carnival 2022 by leaving a comment and clicking like on the person that you think is going to be Bonhomme. And who do you think it's going to be? It's going to be Cameron Grant, maybe Jonathan St. Pierre, or Rick Lemieux. And again, one of those good men will be crowned and unmasked as Bonhomme on February the 19th at the Dante Club. They're asking you to book a ticket. We're going to be there that night. It's going to be a great night. Book your tickets right now at the center. And again, for the evening, and the list of their events are on their Carnival events page at La Ronde. And V&M Renovations serves Timmins and surrounding area. They are licensed, insured, and WSIB compliant. And they offer a wide variety of services. You can call today. In fact, if you go to Justin's website, Facebook page now, V&M Renovations, there's a bathroom project and a tile shower that turned out amazing for Justin. He just posted that today. Also, if you've got maybe a small deck plan in the summer, he just posted a small deck and fence project done back at, I love how he jokes, when it was still warm weather. But now you can envision what Justin can do for your backyard. Again, those pictures are on V&M Renovations Facebook page. You can call for your free estimate, 705-372-3832.
There we go, pal. You did it all. All right. So let me flip a couple of these things over. Okay. So I want to say it's Chad's son's birthday. So happy birthday, Skylar.
Happy birthday, Skylar.
Yeah, that's right. Happy birthday. That's right.
Should we?
Well, hold on. I'm going to give you a cheers, Kinsman. But
give me a cheers.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask you to do something. Don't get excited yet.
I'm gonna bring Kate over here.
I got my picture finally. Yes, I did. And okay, so it's also your birthday tomorrow.
My birthday is tomorrow. My little guy, he just celebrated his birthday. My little guy, Caden, there had his birthday yesterday. You want to sit up on Papa's lap? Here, come here. Come sit.
All right. A glass never looks good on the green screen, so I'm going to get you to turn off your green screen, okay?
All right, let's do this right now. Hang on here.
Right, let's see. There we go. There you go.
And we're going to turn that off.
Okay.
Yes. Let's turn that off.
Okay. Now, Kinsman, I got the full beer. I got the full beer, a special beer for you today. Okay. And it's at your house. Okay. So you're going to crack it and give me a cheers on the show. Okay.
All right. Hang on. Let me grab mine. I got one too. Where are you?
Why? What's going on with the color of your beer? What color is that, dude?
I've been having a few messages here tonight asking what was in the glass, because on the green screen it was actually picking up the backdrop. We'll have some details of what is in this glass. How about on Thursday's show? That sound like a deal?
Yeah.
That sound like a deal for you, my man?
All right, Kinsman. So it does sound like a deal, and it does have to do with green beer. Does it taste the same or what?
It tastes like the same 705 blonde ale.
All right. So how are you going to celebrate your 63 tomorrow? What are you going to celebrate with? A paper cigar, a pair of slippers, and
probably well, first of all, it's going to be making these boys breakfast. Like this guy, he doesn't even want to be here for the cheers right now. You don't want to stay here and watch the end?
You want to come and see your dad? I got my 19-year-old son here. You want to come and see your dad? No, he says.
Doesn't want to do that, no?
No. I guess they're too embarrassed. All right, pal. So yeah, we do have some big news on Thursday. It does have something to do with green beer. Some people could put one and one together, but nonetheless, it's going to be something pretty awesome.
Something pretty awesome. And again, yeah, that's what it looks like. And again, it doesn't taste any different. No, it still tastes like good beer.
Happy
and
birthday.
Again, we'll tell you the tie to that on Thursday's show. And it's my big B day. Is it my birthday tomorrow, buddy? Mm-hmm. Hey, are you gonna sing me happy birthday tomorrow morning? Yeah. Are you gonna make me breakfast tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Hey, Caden's like, okay, I'm gonna go watch the rest of my show. On show nights, they get to watch an extra show there before they have to put their jammies on.
Papa
are you done? Hey,
I bet you Papa always keeps them up late. All right, pal. So cheers to you. Happy birthday. May the 6 remaining years of your life be a good one.
All right, buddy. Cheers. We'll see you Thursday.